Hi, I'm Zach Lewis with the Real News Communications Network, and we're sitting down with Jeff Pettegrew, the Chief Policy Officer of ARAWC, to talk workers' compensation. Jeff, how are you today?
Great, Zach. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. So let's jump right into it. Jeff, what have you been doing the past few years?
Well, Zach, I've really remained active in workers' comp and insurance thought leadership, looking at trends on a daily basis and getting a lot of calls seeking my thoughts and advice. And, my thoughts are that it's been a transformative time for workers' comp industry with lots of interesting issues related to workers' classification, automation, artificial intelligence, and really how we can better focus on achieving the best medical outcomes and paying great benefits and getting employees back to work and leading productive lives.
So why have you become associated with ARAWC?
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm really impressed with the medical outcomes for injured workers that have been reported in several different studies. In fact, Fast Facts on the ARAWC website has a number of issues that they cover there. And it looks like great wage replacement benefits are being paid to a lot of injured workers, like those Texas injury benefit plans that pay from the very first day of disability with no waiting period. And in short, I think the more I learn about Texas injury benefit plans and how they are positively evolving to address the concerns of critics, the more impressed I am and more convinced that this is really a great program.
What happened in Oklahoma?
Well, Zach, the bottom line is that the Oklahoma Supreme Court decided their unique state constitution prohibits employers from having any choice in how they take care of injured workers. And so every worker must have the same exact injury benefit package, even if that package isn't very efficient or performing well. So the Oklahoma option also included exclusive remedy protection for negligent employers against lawsuits, which Texas doesn't have. And everyone knew that was problematic from the beginning. But the court case, interestingly enough, that struck down the Oklahoma option was also interesting because it didn't involve an on-the-job injury. And the data from that 2 to 3 year experiment's frankly amazing. I mean, ARAWC produced an Oklahoma option performance report back in 2016, and it shows like 4 different things. I mean, a diverse group of big and small employers elected the Oklahoma option, worked well for them, improved medical outcomes, return to work for employees, and so forth, dramatically it decreased employee disputes, and they had better benefits paid to most workers. I mean, it worked great, but in spite of all the stories you hear about the bad things that could or might happen under Texas or Oklahoma injury benefit plans, the facts seem to demonstrate very good results. And I've agreed to work with ARAWC to help validate those results and see if we can continue to improve this innovative and seemingly very effective approach to injured worker care.
Jeff, is ARAWC introducing any new legislation for a workers' comp alternative in other states?
No, we aren't, Zach. The Oklahoma option was created by a group of local Oklahoma employers, and then ARAWC introduced and later withdrew proposals in 2 other states, I think Tennessee and South Carolina. But ARAWC has been spending the last 2 years carefully considering the lessons learned from all that experience, and we're now focused on how we can further improve the Texas program, and I've been asked to help continue that effort.
So what exactly is ARAWC doing?
Well, let me give you examples of what they've been doing based upon the experience in the last few years. I'd say first in program enhancements that ARAWC supports employers in the improvement of their programs by, for instance, removing many unnecessary exclusions and limitations on benefit coverage. An independent consultant and well-respected thought leader in workers' comp, Nancy Grover, wrote a great article on this in May 2016. And some of the issues involved in that are like removing limitations on medical expenses that some people have talked about as problematic, things like hearing aids, home health care, and so forth. But they've never really been applied to any single claim. So we'll find a lot of improvement in the optics and the administration, I think, of the medical coverage under these programs. Another issue is compliance with the ERISA disability claim regulations that became effective in April 2018. And they further ensure the full and fair review, if you will, of group health and injury benefit claims. A third issue is fiduciary training for claims administrators, and this really helps also ensure full and fair review of any claims. And lastly, in the injury reporting, ARAWC's been encouraging all employers toward the use of a really new, more objective and employee-friendly standard for injury reporting. And this has all been an important area of focus, and I'll be sharing more information on all these programs enhancements as time goes by. Another issue is cost shifting. ARAWC's really taken a hard look at the argument that some critics have made that the Texas injury benefit plans shift costs to taxpayers and other government programs. And frankly, that argument doesn't hold any water when you consider the data on the duration of disability, the sustained return to work, the benefit levels, and the updates that it really ensure that their injury benefit plan is the primary source of recovery for injured worker benefits. And lastly, researchers is a really big area I'll mention, because we continue to see studies and reports that indicate high levels of wage replacement being paid to injured workers and outstanding medical outcomes under the Texas injury benefit programs. So ARAWC supports further credible independent research on how these programs actually perform, which we really see as night and day compared to what some people have said might or could happen. So, we really need to start talking about programs that actually perform medical outcomes and benefit payments, and not on an anecdotal basis. I mean, we can all find fault, Zach, with some workers' comp and injury benefit programs where claims where poor decisions were made or were otherwise not turned out well. But we really need to take more time to focus on, what happens in the vast majority of claims and the good outcomes that are being achieved in both workers' comp and the Texas injury benefit plans. In fact, that's one of the reasons I look forward to attending the Comp Laude conference, which is being presented by Work Comp Central next month in San Diego.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Jeff. To find out more information, visit ARAWC.org.